everyone, this is Saloni Doshi. I am the founder and director of Space 118, which is an artist studio and residency space in Bombay. Mapping Residencies in India is a book initiative which I started 8 years ago, where I started my research on various residencies that existed all over India, which is now culminating in a book initiative to document all the artist residencies that have existed in India post-independence, starting from the Sarabais till today. This series promises to be a visual and factual treat to those really interested in learning about the existence of such spaces in India's past, present, and future. It also elaborates on the functioning, the modes of working, the raison d'etre of the existence, and the illustrious happenings of these community spaces all over India. Artist residencies have always provided opportunities to invite artists, academicians, curators, writers, and all kinds of creative people for a time and space away from their usual environments and practices. These spaces provide a time of reflection, research, presentation, and production. Residency programs also allow individuals to explore his or her practice with another community, meeting new people, using new materials, and experiencing life in a new location. So, artist residencies are literally life changing experiences not only for artists but also for anyone who encounters them. They reflect the world around us. They engage diverse communities more so than any other art sector because they bridge the intercultural understanding and peacekeeping. One of the first few residencies in India, which many people don't know, was actually founded in 1959 post-independence by Sarla Devi and Ambalal Sarabhai in Ahmedabad. The Sarabhai Foundation is a not-for-profit organization dedicated to the enhancement of science, art, and culture to promote India's heritage in a contemporary manner, contemporary for those times. The Sarabhai Foundation provided artists time, workspaces, residencies, and art materials, and even access to local skilled workers and craftsmen in exchange for some work during the residency. Some of the most prominent artists in the international arena who worked there in those times were Howard Hodgkin, John Baldessari, Francesco Clemente, Charles and Ray Eames, Linda Bengelis, Alexander Calder, and Isamu Noguchi. So meanwhile, the Bullabhai Memorial Institute in Mumbai was set up in the memory of Bullabhai Desai, a freedom fighter, prominent lawyer, and congressman in his sprawling estate at Breach Candy, which is currently the Akash Ganga building. This was set up in 1952 by his daughter-in-law Madhuri Bain, where also the Bombay Progressive Group was formed. This was then formed by Hussain, but Tayyab Mehta, Gaitonde, Nasreen Mohammadi, Pilu Pochkanawala, Nalini Malani were some of the many painters that used to use the studios at Bullabhai Memorial Institute for ₹1 a day. The institute was a hub for painters, musicians, dancers, photographers, and artists. The history of experimental theatre in Bombay starts from here with Ibrahim Alkazi and later Satyadev Dubey, who followed him. Even Bombay's first art gallery, which was started by the then filmmaker Bal Chavda, was started right here on the ground floor in the year 1959 and was called Gallery 59. So there are 50 such residencies that have done fabulous works in times past and today. And to know more about this, we have initiated a small glimpse into the contents of this book, which will hopefully be released by the end of this year or next year on our social media handle, which is space118_studios, or you can also follow us on Facebook at space118 to learn more about the history of art in India. Due to the lockdown of borders inhibiting travel, most of the residencies were forced to shut down. However, artists can survive anywhere. Their creative urge lets them take inspiration from any circumstance. This is a unique time when there are no exhibitions to participate in, no deadlines to meet. They're just in their studios, which are their personal spaces, with the maximum time for oneself, in some cases producing art and in some cases ideating without any pressure to deliver. This lockdown, in some way, I feel, has helped each one of us to understand who we really are and what we're capable of. These days, with virtual art events, one is getting intellectual stimulation sitting at home. It is also a positive change. In fact, at Space 118, we had one artist, Mithun Das, who was a part of the Contemporaries program in the studio from March till June, and it was quite an experience. We saw his stay through Wi Fi cuts, water tank breaking down, to a newly adopted COVID lifestyle. So we did solve these issues, but we also organized two mentorship sessions which were virtual on Zoom with Shilpa Gupta and Sakshi Gupta. Moving forward, we are now an online residency program. We have always had a WhatsApp group which informs all the artists on the various Space 118 initiatives, no matter where they are, whether we do webinars, talks, Zoom interviews, everything that's also happening in Bombay, India, and abroad is communicated to the artists. We have also been communicating through social media and Facebook, where we've started the Mapping Residency series. We recently also organized the Zoom mentorship session with Prajakta Potnis for all the artists, where Prajakta mentored the artists on how to take their projects forward. And after that, we started the artist takeover sessions on Instagram handles to showcase their works every week. We have been exploring the possibility of now having a virtual open studio day, which will have many more people than the physical one and will reach out to a large Indian and international audience than a local one. I personally feel that our borders have been shut, but our minds have not been. We can work intellectually, collaboratively, curatorially, and ecologically together through these times. And we have been having conversations around sustainable living and coexisting, which are relevant for the artist community going forward. The digital space has taken over and broken all boundaries, and we're harnessing it to its optimal. It has made access to knowledge and information a lot more democratic than it has ever been in the past. When COVID-19 pandemic is over, the arts residencies will play a critical role in the re-emergence of national and international exchange. Artist residencies are a future.